Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is December 2nd, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. I got the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. We got California to the right here. Happy second day of meteorological winter. Took a day off yesterday just because things are fairly slow around here, but we will continue to take a look off into the extended forecast and see what is likely to head our way. You can see we're dealing with this very weak system off the coast of central and southern California. Just some very small precipitation amounts associated with that, and hopefully some of the clouds are subduing some of the fog that's trying to form across some of the valley areas. We're getting some nice inversions here over the last couple days and over the next few days as well. We'll take a look at that in some detail, and we'll take a look at the long range extended forecast as always. And one more look here at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the Doppler radar just picking up on ground clutter and things like that going on. Not much going on, as you can see. Some mid and high level clouds moving across the area, but not much else except for the fog. This is interesting here. A National Weather Service employee is observing predictable set behavior in accordance with sneaker wave activity along the California coastline. This was yesterday about 1:35 p.m. So interesting to see that somebody was out there checking that out. Nice to see it here. But otherwise, again, we are fairly slow across the region. You can see not many storm reports to speak of, only just that one sneaker wave remark. And we do still have that as we go through the day-to-day. High risk for sneaker waves all the way on in through the day today on Monday. This is Eureka National Weather Service. And they do have a beach hazard statement for Southern California out for minor tidal overflow expected. Beach of San Diego and Orange County. And you can kind of see when the high tides are expected today. So just heads up for that if you're along the immediate coastline. And here we go, Sacramento. You can see we have some freezing fog advisories out there, mainly Northeast California, Reno, and portions of Northwest Nevada. And we got dense fog advisory as well for some of the valley areas. It does include Merced, doesn't get quite up to Modesto as we are right now this morning. Now, taking a look at the European model. So let's see what is to come, and we'll put this into motion. You can see our very weak system off the coastline there. And we'll scroll off into the future because you can see we are going to remain in this foggy regime for some of the valley areas. Relatively light winds across the region. And then we bring this system in on Thursday that might clip northern portions of California as we go on in through the later portion of the week. And then another system tries to get in here a little bit as we go through Saturday, but not much doing with that one either. Then we kind of go into this inside slider regime as we go off in towards next week. You can see that one swing by. Then we get some systems into the Pacific Northwest. Again, potentially the inside slider. A bit moisture starved, but these are cooler systems. They can bring mountain snow. They can bring some interesting weather with them as well. We're looking way off into the future here, but that is what it looks like we are going to be dealing with as we go off into the future. Now, if we take a look across the Pacific Ocean, we got Japan to the far left. We got Washington State to the right here. There's Alaska top center and Hawaiian Islands here. So what's going on here is we got this persistent jet stream. This is about 39,000 feet what we're looking at. And if I put this into motion, you notice that it's continuing to bring some of this ridging here across the west coast of North America. And again, the strongest jet out here. So we're getting this more variable jet stream towards the west coast of North America. This is probably due to a little bit of La Nina flavor in the atmosphere and because the Madden-Julian oscillation phase as we speak right now. And they're probably going to update that here at some point today. So I'll probably talk about that in a little more depth tomorrow. But you can see we're still dealing with this ridging, and this would bring that inside slider regime as we go on in towards the mid portion of December. So we'll just continue to watch this and see when this pattern is likely to break. And if it breaks, I mean, it'll break at some point. But the question is when, as of right now. Now, if we look at Fresno, check out what is going on here. If I scroll through this morning, you can see the warmer air aloft versus where us humans are down at the surface. And you can see very close dew point temperature. That means foggy conditions out there. And you can kind of see that move around as you go through the daytime hours. But then you go through the overnight cooling. You can see the temperature drop back down and meet up with that dew point line there. And that's when we get that condensation and we get that fog creation down into some of the valley areas. You can kind of see the diurnal cycle on that with the strong inversion above. So hopefully this doesn't start to become a bit more widespread of a fog event as we go through the next couple of days. Because if we take a look at the 80-meter wind speeds on the North American model, you can see that we are dealing with this relatively light wind across the region. We do have some gusty northerlies across some of western Arizona, some of the desert areas, and across Las Vegas and whatnot. And maybe a little bit of offshore flow you can see across some of the Sierra Nevada, the Cascades, and through the Sacramento Valley. At least you're getting some ventilation with some of the north winds as you go through the day today, and then maybe again tomorrow. You can kind of see that moving around out there, but nothing extremely windy out there. And some places are going to be much more wind sheltered and subject to the fog, like the San Joaquin Valley. Now, 2-meter daily max excuse me, 2-meter temperatures, nice and comfortable this time of year. I mean, you cannot complain. Look at some of these temperatures, 70s, some low 80s down there for Southern California. Great workout weather if you want to go take a jog out there, go take a walk the dog and whatnot. So yeah, you gotta be thankful for that, right? Now taking a look at the daily 2-meter minimum temperature, if we put this into motion, you can see not much change coming up here. But as we go towards the beginning of the month, maybe we'll start to get some more of those systems down into the region. Again, we'll be watching that on a daily basis, so stick with me day by day. Now looking at the North American model, you can see as we went through this, going through this morning, you can see some of the fog out there bubbling around here in the North American model. It can underdo this a lot. So once you see some of this rebuilding here, that's probably a good indicator that we are going to be dealing with some foggy conditions for this is for tomorrow morning, Tuesday. And you can see as we go on in through Wednesday morning, something similar here as we are stuck in this pattern for at least a few more days. Now, taking a look off into the extended forecast. This is last night's European Artificial Intelligence, total precipitation in inches. This goes out a ways, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what is to come, and hopefully this starts to show some of these systems. But you can see the European shows a little bit of something coming this weekend, clipping some northern portions of California, and then we scroll on through about hour 360. It's about, 15 days out. It's not showing much precipitation here. Maybe some inside sliders working their way down. But yeah, not much to talk about right now as far as active weather is concerned. But of course, that can change. We will be watching it, and we are looking at a pattern change. So hopefully some of those systems do start to include California as we get off in towards the next few days. And this is one more look at the entire northern Pacific Ocean. And again, you can kind of see how we're dominated here by the strong troughing out across the western and the central Pacific Ocean, and this ridging downstream just kind of been pretty persistent here, and it looks like it may remain so until the mid portion of the month. And you can kind of see this polar lobe opening up across some of the Pacific Northwest. Hopefully that sets up maybe a little bit further to the west and starts to include California a bit more, because those inside sliders can be on the moisture starved side of things. And if we take a look here at the European model, so this is the really extended forecast. This thing goes out 46 days, and this is 500 millibar height. So if we take a look here, you can again kind of see the ridging here across the region for a while, and then we start to change things up a little bit here as we go through the mid portion of the month. And again, these might be inside sliders. We'll continue to watch that. You can see a couple of them move down across the area as we go through December 19th and 20th. And then as we get on in towards January, we do start to see some of this pattern changing here as we get more of the southwesterly flow and that troughing a bit closer to the coastline, but out over the water. So that would bring some more interesting weather as we go towards the end of December, maybe on into January there as we look for that pattern change. 6 to 10 day, no shocker here. Much of the west above normal, below normal, strong signal here for much of California as we go towards December 11th. Similar signal here for the 8 to 14 day forecast, and again that below normal precipitation signal there. And if you guys want a nice affordable home weather station, makes a nice Christmas gift, click on that link down below. Yeah, I highly recommend this station. It's very affordable for what it is, and it's a smart station. You can talk to the other one. It's got a haptic rain gauge and a lightning detection system with it as well. And it's got a great smartphone app, which makes me end up using that one a lot more than even some of my more expensive professional weather equipment. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, we'll continue to break down that forecast and see what kind of weather we have coming our way. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.